Hello, my name's John Wreford. I'm a British photojournalist, and my work focuses on the Middle East, mostly on humanitarian issues. And for 10 years I lived in Syria, in the capital Damascus. And so I'd just like to uh, give you a little bit of background information to this project and the photographs being exhibited. In the spring of 2011, when the uprising started in Damascus, I decided to stay and live for 2.5 years of the current situation, the war in Syria. And then in the summer of 2013, I came here to Istanbul, and one of the questions I get asked all the time is how did I manage to live in Syria for so long? And I think it's important to answer that, because Syria is a very easy country to live in. But aside from the politics of the Middle East, the people are very friendly. It's it's a Mediterranean country. It's very relaxed, and the hospitality and friendliness, really, it was not difficult to stay there for so long. And I ended up buying a house, and of course over 10 years made lots of very good friends, acquaintances, and it's these people that have really inspired this project. And I really feel that it's understanding a little bit more about them rather than the political situation in Syria or the Middle East. So Syria's been in the news headlines for 7 years, and do dramatic pictures of war tell us anything about who Syrian people are, who the people caught up in the middle of this awful situation? The images are dramatic. The people are just normal, and they have normal backgrounds. Really the same as you and me. They work in banks and pharmacies. They're students and teachers, so it's this perspective that I'm trying to show in my photographs. Finding Syrians in Istanbul is quite easy, and there's currently around 3 million Syrians in Turkey, and only a small fraction of those are actually in refugee camps. The rest are determined to manage by themselves in the cities, and there's something in the region of 400,000 in Istanbul, and more in other cities dotted around the country. Life in Turkey for Syrians is very difficult, obviously, and Turkey already has its own problems: overcrowding and unemployment, and the struggle for everybody is difficult. But despite that, there are still many Syrians that are not only surviving, but they're taking opportunities and making the best of them, and some are thriving. They've opened restaurants and art galleries. The musicians are doing very well. The street musicians are quite amazing. But despite their successes, still they all have the same problem of insecurity, and their passport and papers and the political situation grants them no stability or security whatsoever. So the majority of Syrians are not seeking special attention or sympathy, and really they don't want to be in the spotlight or and have the attention focused on them, which is partly why I chose to shoot the pictures in black and white, and to shoot them at night in the shadows. Really understanding the complexity of the politics of Syria and the Middle East may be difficult, but it's not difficult to understand who Syrian people are. they don't want the stigma of being labelled refugees. Really, they're no different to you or I, and they're looking to be treated with fairness and equality, not special treatment. The people I photographed in the exhibition were not chosen specifically. People really that I met pretty much randomly. But I did spend as much time as possible with each of them, talking to them and discussing their situation, their story, and wanted to be guided by them in terms of how this project worked out. And they all insisted pretty much the same thing, that they didn't want to be part of a political agenda or a political point of view. Really, this was just about trying to help people understand who the Syrian people are. And really, these people represent not just people fleeing war in Syria, but fleeing wars everywhere. And they also represent the situation that any of us can find ourselves in, exactly the same situation. So the project is about more than just Syria. It's about humanity, and really, it's dedicated. The exhibition is dedicated to the many friends that I made in Syria and Istanbul, and the kindness and hospitality they've shown me, and thank you for all of you for taking the time to think about this and possibly learn a little bit more about Syria. Thank you.